You said that I put my balls on the table with the pick. How do you like them now? Because they're bruised now. I'm slamming them on this desk, dude. This is a drop your balls on the table play.
This bet scares the hell out of me.
All right, welcome back to H2H week number 6. You heard Tasos just get that in there right before the red light went on. He goes, I'm 4-1, just in case you didn't wonder, just in case you didn't know. Tasos is 4-1, but welcome back to H2H, everyone, the show in which Tasos and me battle head to head, hence H2H in the NFL each and every week to see who comes out on top with the best picks of the week. Tasos, I heard you say you're 4-1. I guess I'll just toss it over to you. How are you doing?
I mean, besides the fact that I'm surrounded by flies, I'm doing pretty good. I am renovating my house, so I want to apologize to people. You might see me have like a Cosmo Kramer moment where I just kind of like freak out. I am renovating my house, and they were painting the doors downstairs here, and unfortunately they left them open, and I live in cow country, so there's like I cannot exaggerate, there's like 100 flies down here right now. And I've been killing them like just all night long, and it's not working. Like I kill them, and I feel like more keep coming. There's 5 of them right here on the table. Got one. It is crazy. So you might see me have a couple moments.
Fly counter, one fly down.
There it is. See, there we go. There's one. Like they're literally
it's gonna be a good episode
everywhere.
for Ev. Tasos is distracted. I have a chance to make up some ground here.
The gambling gods threw this at me, and it's just not fair. This is what happens when you're 4-1. But yeah, another great week. I don't know, Ev. I don't know what you're going to do here. I don't know what the strategy is, how you're going to come back, but I'm hot right now. 3-1 again last week on the show. Overall, if you look at the college football show, H2H, my other show, like I was 8-3 overall last week. So I'm on a heater right now.
Yeah, shout out to you. I will say 2 parts here. First, the nice, and the second, I'll tell you what my strategy is. First off, shout out to you. College football show, huge success. If you guys don't watch that, make sure to go check it out over on the channel. Tasos taking the reins of college football, probably for the better. And then secondarily, you say, what's my strategy? I paid off a couple door painters to leave your door open today, so you can have some flies flying around.
That's what it feels like.
So there's the strategy right there.
It's what it feels like, honestly. I literally I turned my computer on, got everything set up, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, there's flies just everywhere. And like I thought at first I was like seeing something like they're out of a horror movie, like it's all in my head. No, they're real. I mean, I've killed enough of them now to know, but this is insane. Like this is definitely an advantage for you. Like I don't know, I am like on edge, like every second they're flying in my eye. It's crazy.
I mean,
but
hey. Don't hate the player, just hate the game. I'm down, I'm 1-4. I got to do stuff, right? Like, I got to figure something out. So, it is what it is at this point. But, yeah, if you guys don't know what H2H is, like I said, Tasos and I will battle it out each and every week. We go picking our favorite picks in the NFL round by round. We have 4 total rounds. The first 3 rounds, we spin a wheel to see what type of pick do we have to roll with. Player prop, player prop, total, spread and money line, things of that sort. And then we each have to pick in that round. It is a snake draft, and then we have the fade me round at the end, which is really cool. Essentially, whoever the wheel lands on, the person gets to make a pick, and the other one has to take the exact opposite, aka fading that person. That round has been crucial week in and week out. We're 5 weeks in, and I think only 1 week, the person that got the fade me round, it ended up biting them in the ass, right?
Yeah. I can't believe that I had the New York Jets in a fade me pick, and it actually worked in my favor. Like, that's crazy.
That looked, I mean, I was looking at that game. I was like, oh, looks good. 70-yard touchdown to Breece Hall. And I was like, there it goes. It just slipped through my fingertips. And there was the week, too. The minute that happened, I was like, well, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, all right, another winning week for Tasos. Not a bad week for me, but not good enough. Let's jump in, and we can spin the wheel here so that we can jump in and, do this damn thing. So you'll see a wheel on your screen in just a second here. Once Tasos lets me know if he can see it. I think it's taking a little loading time.
It's coming. It's got 3 little dots. I got flies flying all over the screen, so I don't even know what I can't. Get out of here. Crazy. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills right now.
Hey. I mean,
it is. I don't know if I'm like 6-2 over the last 2 weeks on this show. Like, that's actually, I cannot exaggerate enough that I'm like on a heater right now.
And I had my worst, like, I don't know if you read some of the comments, but people want me dead. And I'm like, well, that is unfortunate for me. That's going to continue to do these shows for now till the end of time. Like, that's tough. That is a tough spot to be in. But all right, we got a wheel on the screen, guys. It has a couple Tasos spots, a couple Ev spots, and let's see who's going to be drafting first. It is a snake draft. Here we go.
You know what, Ev? I hope you win today. I hope you get the. I hope you get the first pick.
No, it's gonna be you.
You need it. Well, it's gonna be me, unfortunately. For you. I'm sorry. I really wanted you to have that, Ev. I really did.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot.
You need all the help you can get. You need all the help you can get. So.
All right, so like I said, you know what? Well, I don't need the help. I got the flies helping me. It's like 10 against 1 right now, okay? If I can't win this week, I don't know what I can do. Yeah, 100 against... See, so they're multiplying. I only hired 10 of them. But
I literally, it feels like you kill one and one other one takes its place. It's crazy.
That's tough. It's a tough look. I mean, what are you going to do? But, all right. Now we're going to jump into another wheel here. We have a bunch of types of bets on the wheel. I went with a bunch of different slices this week. But let's go ahead and spin this. And what are you looking for as the first pick here? Money line, spread, total, or player prop?
To be honest, the world's my oyster. I'll take anything at this point. I don't have anything that I love over something else. I like everything, so just give me anything, honestly. I'm not picking this week.
All right, I'm spinning.
I'm red hot. I'm feeling good. I'm on top of the world. Besides these flies, I'm on top of the world. Nothing can really bring me down right now. We'll take that looks like it's going to be a spread.
Ooh, spread. Yep. Stopping on the spread.
All right. Ev, this feels like a trap. I'm not going to lie to you. This pick right here, it feels like a trap. It feels like a guppy pick, but I got to take it on the pure fact that I just think that this team, which has not had a good start to the season, they're not this bad. And that's the Minnesota Vikings -2.5 at the Chicago Bears. It's such a guppy pick. It really is. Like, why are the Vikings only 2.5 point favorites against a bad Bears team? I know the Vikings are 1-4. I know they haven't been playing well, but I can't with these goddamn flies. They haven't been playing well, but this team is too good to just beat. Like, they're better than their record shows. This might be one of the best 1-4 teams I've ever seen. Like, they have the firepower to beat Chicago. The Bears, obviously, they're coming off a good Thursday Night Football win against. They had the Dick Butkus game. You know, I mean, you had the good aura coming into that game, and it helped them. But you don't get 2 Dick Butkus games. You only get 1. They use it against the Commanders. I think they kind of come back to earth a little bit here. I think the Vikings are too good of a team, and I think there's too much at stake for this franchise's future here because they can still make the playoffs. You know, the NFC is not particularly strong. So, you know, a 1-4 start, like in the AFC, I don't think you could overcome it. In the NFC, I think it's very possible that you could just have a 1-4 start and come back. But so I'm going Vikings -2.5 here. I think Kirk Cousins, his future in Minnesota is on the line, and I don't think he's going to go down quietly. This is the kind of game where he'll have like a 350 passing yards, 4 touchdown passes kind of game, and the Bears defense isn't that good, so.
No, this is another defense where, I mean, you saw the Bears, they lost to them, but they put up almost 30 points against Denver, right? Denver's a fairly comparable defense to Minnesota. You're right. I mean, excuse me. Yeah, the Bears defense is comparable to Denver. So sorry, I had that messed up there. But either way, Vikings, Kirk Cousins, they're working out Colt McCoy. I don't know if you saw that today. It's like there's a lot of writing on the wall almost for Kirk Cousins to lose his job, but he's not that bad. Like, he's not I would be so surprised if he loses his job. You know what I mean? So I think these little working guys out and all that, just kind of give him maybe a little kick in the ass here. I don't hate the pick. I guess the thing I was trying to make with the Denver defense, which I was not, you know, I was flipping the teams there for a second, but you know, the Minnesota defense is so bad that we saw what the Bears have been able to do against bad defenses. Denver, Washington, I think, is kind of a fake defense, to be completely honest. Yeah. You know, and Justin Fields and that Bears offense looks like a potent team when they're playing a bad defense. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, this was, if I'd be lying to you if I said this wasn't on my list too. I actually had them in the money line category just because, and we already made the rule that like I can't take the money line now because you made them your spread pick, but that 2.5, like this could scream a 1 point win type of thing. Now, if it was 3.5, yes, we're talking a different thing. So luckily, like, you know, that the only real situation normal situation would be that 1 point. But I could totally see this being like a Bears, at the end of the game, go down, score a touchdown. Now they need to get a 2-point conversion to win the game. And they're like, screw it, let's try and get it. Miss 2-point conversion, win by 1. Something crazy like that. Because
I see what you're trying to do here because I did this to you like 2 weeks ago where I literally laid out the game. I think it was that Bears-Broncos game.
It was, yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
Yeah, where I literally laid out what happened to you and it happened. So I see what you're doing here. I hope it doesn't work.
No, I just think that these are two teams that, and what I mean by kind of predicting that game is that you're not going to get, I mean, if it happens, great, but you're not going to get a stop when you need to stop with either of these defenses. You know what I mean?
No, it's which quarterback will make the more mistakes, honestly. And that's kind of where I'm like, I feel like Kirk Cousins, he knows, I think the writing's on the wall that like, if they keep losing, like he's done. Like they already, even if they made the playoffs this year, I think that they were wanting to push him out anyways. But now with this rough start, like he's really like bags are going to be packed very soon. And I don't think he wants to leave Minnesota. I wouldn't if I were him. When you got Justin Jefferson to throw to for the next 5+ years. But
they're better than their record indicates. Like they truly are, at least offensively, like for sure.
Well, what happened with them was like it's kind of funny. So they flip flop. So like 2 years ago, they were the least lucky team in the league when it came to like these close 1-point games, these tight ball games. And then last year their luck completely flipped, which is why they had that monster season, because all those 1-score games, they now all of a sudden were winning them. And I feel like the luck is now turned back, where it's like they're back to where they were 2 years ago, where it's like they're in a lot of close games. They're in every single game they play. They just can't come up, they can't finish in the fourth quarter. And, so I just feel like it's like Cinderella, like, clock struck midnight. And the Vikings are back to where they were 2 years ago. So, but they're just too good to lose again to this Bears team. I know the Bears, they came off that win, and people are going to be, Justin Fields is back, and their offense is humming. I think Minnesota is just too good of a team to lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily hate it. My spread pick here, I'm going to a team that got embarrassed in national time, their prime time. They played the 49ers last week and lost 42-10. I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys here. I like them -2. They're playing the Chargers, and I believe Eckler's coming back, if I'm not mistaken. So that will give the Chargers a little bit of boost. But, man, if the Cowboys even compete in last week's game against the 49ers, I think the spread is over a field goal. We're getting it at -2 right now. I just like the spot for them. I do think that defense is so legitimate. They have playmakers, and we know that this Chargers defense ain't all that great, right? Like that's not a good defense on the Chargers side of it. They let up, definitely top 10 amount of points or bottom 10 amount of points this season. And that's the type of defense Dak Prescott carves up, or Tony Pollard has a bounce back game, or so on and so forth. Like this is such a spot, which maybe it is a trap game or a guppy pick, like we were saying with yours too. Like, cause this one seems obvious, which is sometimes when we get ourselves in the most treacherous situations betting, but a fired up Dallas team coming off of a game where they got embarrassed by the way, the best team in the league. Like, okay, if you're going to pick one team to get embarrassed by, I'd choose 49ers, like they're head and shoulders above everyone. So I'll take the Cowboys here. They're going to negate the one good thing that the Chargers are good at, which is offense. Like this is a team that's better than most offensively, but you have a defense that is up there in the upper echelon of the entire league. I think that they take away Herbert's sort of binkies. Eckler, it's his first game back. I don't care that he's coming back. I think that he gets, has a tough time and all that type of thing. So I like the Cowboys here minus the 2 points. To be honest, if this was 3.5, I would still like it. Like I still think that the Cowboys kind of win this game by 7, but the fact that it's 2.5, I don't even need to worry about 3.5. But I think the Cowboys win this by a touchdown.
I think this is for example, like myself personally, I'm not going to bet this game in real life. I think this is like a stay away game. These are two teams that are just like the most unpredictable. Like just when you think you had them figured out, they do something completely opposite of what you expect. I want to say they're both cursed franchises because like I feel like they never have anything go. Like every time we think they finally turn the corner, it's like, oh, the Chargers are finally a Super Bowl contender. Oh, the Cowboys are finally a Super Bowl contender. Then something happens and they're like, oh wait, no, they're not that good actually. Dallas, really tough game. However, I saw it coming. Dak Prescott has been asked to win 2 times this year against the Cardinals, against the Niners. They asked him, "Hey, the defense can't carry you this week. Can you take over as our $50 million quarterback? Can you take over?" And he can't. I'm all my Dak stock is sold at this point. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback anymore. I don't know what happened along the way, because I think at one point I would have put him in my top 10 contending for top 5 earlier in his career. And I feel like
before he had that ankle injury, or what was that, maybe 2, and he came in. Well, I know he's had that a couple times, but maybe it wasn't the ankle then. But I think like 2 years ago, right? He came into the year.
Well, yeah, he had that bad. It was
really
ankle
good
or his leg. He's like fractured, so like it was bad. That was like I remember watching that live on TV. It was bad.
He came into that game. That was like a Thursday night or Monday or Sunday night game. Came in doing really well, and that was kind of the last we saw of good Dak. So, I mean, I don't think Dak wins this game. I think the defense comes out being like, wow, we've let up. We let up, you can go from 0, 10. Yes, they let up 28 to Arizona. That was tough. But 0, 10, and 3 in their other games. And then they got pumped 42 against San Francisco. That's a mad defense.
Yeah, the only problem I have, though, and I don't know if you realize this, but this is a Kellen Moore revenge game. This is the former Cowboys offensive coordinator, now the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He kind of knows Dallas now. Like, he's been there. He knows what they are about. He knows McCarthy inside and out. I think Kellen Moore will eventually be the head coach of the Chargers, probably, if they keep losing. The Chargers offense is good, where it's like I think they could give Dallas some trouble, especially if Eckler's back. Like, it could be interesting. It's going to be such a toss-up. I do like Cowboys. If I had to pick a side, I'd probably pick Dallas. But it's such a tough spot. I don't know. Like, it's risky. It's very risky. Like, this is not one of your typical Ev safe bets. This is drop your
those haven't gotten me so far. Those haven't gotten me too far. I will say, just to be honest, the Kellen Moore revenge game is like the least intimidating thing I've ever heard.
Really? He's a great offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I know he is, but that the offensive coordinator revenge game just doesn't. You could name any name. It's not like the quarterback, like Justin Herbert used to play for the Cowboys and now he's pissed. Like, it's like Kellen Moore revenge game.
That's fair. But it is a coach going up against his former team trying to prove himself. I don't know.
That's okay. I'm just saying the narrative of that's not turning me off the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also just the Dak thing again, where it's like, I feel like this is another game where it's like the defense this isn't like the other problem is like their 3 wins was against the Patriots, the Jets, and the Giants, who are all 3 bad offenses.
Yeah.
So it's like, how good is the Cowboys defense? Because when they played Arizona and they played San Francisco, the defense did not show up. So it's like, how good are they actually? And the Chargers are a good offensive team. So that's kind of what worries me a little bit, is like, are they really that good? Or is it just they played really bad teams? Like, the Patriots also lost 34-0 to the Saints.
Yep.
So like, how much is that 38-3 win? What does it actually mean? So that's the other side of it.
That's fair. I think that's a plenty fair point. All right, now let's move on to round number 2. I get first pick. Let's see what we got as Tasos loses limbs due to those flies. Keep going, boys.
Dude, I
keep it
just
going.
Smack the shit out of my arm.
You're gonna get injured.
This is
no workers' comp over here on the channel.
I feel like I'm in an insane asylum right now. Like I'm just constantly smacking myself.
Oh man! All right, here we go. We do have a wheel on the screen. I am hoping for. I think I want a money line because I got a big plus money line.
I'm hoping for a total here. To be honest, I know I said I wasn't anything in particular.
Oh, another spread. It's gonna be another.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I don't hate that. I don't hate it.
Oh, I need money line here. I need it today. I feel like I do.
All right. Now I gotta look through the board and see what is it that you love, and it's a big play money line. You said, huh?
I might be going Altiev for this spread pick.
Oh boy, this has not worked out well for you. But go ahead.
I think. No, it hasn't. But I don't know if you'll hate it. I think I'm going Altiev. I think this is going to be a potential crazy pick, but I don't hate it at all. It's for plus 172. Oh man, this is going to be tough. Plus 172. Minus 2.5 is the spread. So I'm taking an underdog.
Okay.
Patriots minus 2.5 over the Raiders. Every person in that damn Raiders team came from Bill Belichick. This is a Patriots team that is due for a win, and we're both Patriots fans, and we know they stink. Like, jury's out, Tasos. They stink.
They're bad.
But if there's one team that there's a chance that, like, the Bill Belichick factor, which I use quotes at this point because I don't even know how much that freaking matters, it's going to be against his protege, Josh McDaniels. It's going to be against a quarterback in which he kind of forced out of town, or he wanted to keep, right? Actually, and got forced out of town, Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to be against a team in which he's familiar with a lot of those guys. I'm listen to how I'm talking about this. I'm saying the Patriots stink. If. This is a plus 172 play over on FanDuel. I understand the long shot-esque of this, but I'm also down 4-1 in this show. I have to come in with some bangers, and I think you could make the argument, oh, well, you know, as Patriots fans, both of us, right, like, kind of lose at this point. Let's get a good draft pick. Bill Belichick is never going to throw a game. That dude he still thinks he's the creme de la creme, which he is, like, historically, but you know what I mean? Like, every single game he's going to go out there and play. I think that this is an Alti-Ev that is risky. You said that I put my balls on the table with the Cowboys pick. How do you like them now? Because they're bruised now. I'm slamming them on this desk, dude. This is a drop your balls on the table play.
Yeah, I mean, as a Patriots fan, I'm hurt. I'm just watching the last 2 weeks has been the most depressing experience of my life. Like, I literally was numb watching the Saints game. Like, I kept watching, though. I wouldn't turn it off. I'm like, no, I have to. It's like what's that old movie where, like, they literally have, like, the people's eye? Like, I literally, like, was forcing myself to watch. Like, no, you have to watch this. I don't know. I mean, I definitely could see them winning this game because I don't think the Raiders' defense is not very good. I made a solemn vow, and I made it during the Saints game, that I will not bet on the Patriots again this year. And so I have to stick to my guns there. And I don't know. I could see them winning the game, but it's in Vegas. Garoppolo, a Jimmy Garoppolo revenge game, perhaps. A Jacoby Myers revenge game. The real one.
Revenge games.
No, listen, the real one.
What
is
about
the
a Bill
Jacoby
Belichick
Myers
revenge game? Yeah,
huh?
that's. I said, what about the Bill Belichick revenge, just overall? But Jacoby Myers, for
he's
sure.
Pissed off.
But guess what?
Rightfully
Jacoby
so.
Myers blew his load on Thursday night, or on Monday night. Excuse me. Like, he had his game of the year. So
yeah, but what if that was like what if that wasn't the game of the year? What if he has his game of the year this week?
Okay, that's tough to argue.
I don't know. If you watch Play Action Takes, like our buddy, our co-host Johnny is a diehard Raider fan, and like I've seen too many Raider games in my lifetime watching with him, where it's like I just know this is a spot coming off a big Monday night win where the Raiders will disappoint their fans and lose. I just can't confidently, like, I don't hate it. I respect the play. I just, with the Patriots, the way that, number one, I want the Patriots to lose at this point because we're not going to the playoffs. I just want Caleb Williams or Drake May at this point. But I do respect the play because I could see New England very much winning this game and kind of righting the ship before the next week when they lose again. So
not even remotely righting the ship. You said you went numb during the last game. I was numb during the Cowboys game. I started laughing at the Saints game. Like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I was, you know what I mean? Like, the Cowboys game numbed me. And then the Saints game, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like, what are we doing here?
Well, the Cowboy game, the only reason why I didn't give up necessarily was because I was like, oh, the Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender. I thought they were. Like, they're a solid team. That defense is pretty good. And then, like, the Saints game, I'm like, all right, like, the Saints, I picked them the last week. I bet against the Patriots, which I never do. But I
saw the clip on
Saints money line.
The clip on Play Action Takes.
Yeah, I took Saints money line, but like there's a part of me that was like, I think New England was still going to pull out here. They're going to pull away with this, and then like after the first like 10 minutes, I'm like, yeah, no, this is done. So yeah, I don't hate the pick. I don't love it. I think you're taking a big risk, but again, and someone who's 1-4 like the New England Patriots, you got to take a risk. So what did I
text you? I texted you earlier today. So I was like, "Am I the Patriots? Like, am I?"
You are right now. The only thing is, did you really have the dynasty that like they had? Like,
yeah, of course. Of course. But all right, who do we got for your spread side of things? Right, second spread pick of the night.
All right, let's see. There's a lot of tough spread. There's a lot of spreads that feel like guppy spread. Like, there's a lot of where I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to take this one, and it's very bold, but this is a team that has not let me down yet this year. I'm taking Seahawks +3 in Cincinnati. I'm gonna keep rolling. I'm gonna keep with the hot hand, betting Seahawks. Listen, I get it. The Bengals won a game. Joe Burrow threw all over the field. Jamar Chase had a monster day. I'm not buying they're all the way back yet. I understand it was a big win. I understand they looked the best they've looked all year, but it was the Arizona Cardinals, and it was tight in the beginning. They pulled away afterwards, but in the beginning, there was a point where the Cardinals, I think it was like, were they up like, what, 10-7 or something like that? Like, they were winning in the second quarter, I think. Like, the Cardinals gave them a pretty good shot in the first half, and then in the second half, the Bengals pulled away. You know, the Cardinals don't have anyone who can guard Jamar Chase. What are you going to do? The guy's always open. You can ask him yourself. I'm not buying. Not to say that the Bengals won't be back. I think the Bengals will eventually get close to where they were last year. I just don't. I'm not buying it yet. In Seattle, I don't get the disrespect because the Bengals are 2-3. They had one good game, and now all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, you know, Bengals -3, they're back." I think Seattle's the better team right now. They've been better all year. They're 3-1. They've had some really nice wins. Their offense is prolific. Like, they can throw all over this Bengals defense. I'm going Seahawks +3. I'm going to ride the hot hand. Seattle saved me this year. They got me 2 wins single-handedly.
If they win this, you have to buy a Seattle jersey. You
I
almost
have a Bobby Wagner coming in, the throwback.
Oh, you did get it.
Yeah, because I was like, you know, first of all, I wanted an excuse to buy that jersey because it's one of the nicest like uniforms in the league. That throwback like 90s Seahawks, blue and green. So I'm like, I like Bobby. I respect Bobby Wagner. I'm like, all right, I can indulge and take this. So yeah, it should be in by next show. But it'll be perfect timing for when I celebrate another win because of Seattle Seahawks.
I'm not gonna lie to you, on my spread options here, and it was an option. It was down the list. Bengals -3. If this is -2.5, it bumps up. I didn't love them winning by more than a field goal, but this is a Bengals defense that is, in some regards, underrated. They're top 10 in sacks, top 10 in causing turnovers.
Well,
are they great? Yeah. Are they great? No. Are they even good? Or I would say, yes, they're good. Are they above average? No. But so far, if you have an above average defense against Seattle, you can make it tough on them. I don't think that this is a bad pick just for your sake of that Seattle has kind of not necessarily shocked the world, but at any given moment has looked incredible offensively. Like everyone, if you're still sleeping on Seattle's offense, you need to get with that Geno Smith. You know, whether or not he's going to sustain this, he's good. He's going to do the minimum to win. Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, like even Noah Fant has had a couple big catches. Like this is a team that is a good offense, and if they face a bad defense, or a good defense, that's when I think they struggle. And I think the Bengals are just at that good defense level, which they don't have much to show for it. Like if you want to pull out, the Arizona game or even Baltimore or Cleveland that put up a bunch, like they don't really have the points against numbers to show for it. But looking at parts of this defense where I do think that it's going to matter, I do think that this is going to be a good defensive line going up against a pretty good offensive line so far through the year. If the Bengals win that battle, I think that they make it tough on Geno Smith because, like I said, he's a good floor quarterback. If he's rushed, if he's pressured, it'll be a little tough for him. The one, I guess you could say, good thing on your end is that I don't think the Bengals have any sort of matchup, true matchup, one-for-ones, whether it's linebacker on Kenneth Walker or Tyler Lockett or DK. Like, I don't think that there's like the biggest of answers there. So this is going to get down to, can they pressure Geno Smith? If they can, I think the Bengals literally can control this game because I believe Joe Burrow is starting to get back. We talk about how they're slow starters and everything like that. Like it shouldn't. It's funny to me, and let me know your take on this. Like, it's funny that everyone was like, "Oh, give Joe Burrow 4 weeks and he'll be back." And I know he has the calf and whatnot, but now it's like, okay, week 5 they win, and now it's like week 6. Like, doesn't that seem like everyone was saying exactly what was going to happen, and then it happened? Yet still, there's naysayers about the Bengals. Isn't that kind of weird?
Well, so I agree with you to an extent. Like that, this is a trend. Like they do come out the gates slow. There's a couple of years of data now where we know this is what they do. They're not a good September football team, or even early October they struggle. The difference this year is, truthfully, I don't think it's just like, usually it's just like Joe Burrow's not really, the offense isn't really humming. You know, like the offensive line has been an issue, it feels like forever, and they just can't, doesn't matter who they bring in, doesn't matter what they do, the offensive line just continues to be a problem. What's different this year is that, like, I know their defense, like, their pass rush is legit. Like, Trey Hendrickson's one of the best pass rushers right now in the game. The problem is they lost a lot of pieces in that secondary. They lost Jesse Bates. They lost Von Bell. They lost some corners. Like, this defensive secondary is not great. And the thing with them is, like, like I said, I do think the Bengals will at some point soon kind of find their stride a little bit. I just don't think their stride this year is going to be what it was the last 2 years. Like, I don't think this team is going back to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're on the level of Kansas City or Buffalo right now. There's just some issues there where it's like, it's not just like Joe Burrow's off to a slow start. Obviously, the injuries plagued them a little bit, but their offensive line's still not good. Their pass defense isn't great. And, like, yeah, they have 2 wins, but both, I'm not really, like, even the Cardinals win, yeah, they won by 2 touchdowns, but, like, it's the Cardinals. Like, I'm not going to be impressed. And that Rams Monday night game was not a good game. Like, they played ugly the majority of that game, and they won because the Rams also played ugly. They were 2 bad offensive lines playing very good defensive lines. You know, I don't know. I just think Seattle, they've proven a little bit more. I know they had that bad week 1 loss to the Rams, but since then, granted, 2 of their wins were against the Giants, who are really bad, who are 1-3 or 1-4, and the Panthers, who are 0-5, but they did beat the Lions in a really impressive week 2 win. So I can't put my money on the Bengals right now until I see more, and that's why I'm fading them, because I just don't think they're all the way back yet.
And that's totally, like, look at this. I had 2 spread picks, right? Before I got to, I said this is on my list. Like, there's a reason why it clearly didn't even make it. Like, I had 2 spread picks, didn't take this. I'm just saying it was on my list. And I will say, though the numbers are inflated because of the Giants game, like the Seahawks, if you look at their D-line versus, or even their quarterback pressure and sack numbers versus the Bengals offensive, like it sways just the same. So, everything you're saying is valid, because had I been big on the Bengals, wouldn't I have taken them in my first 2 spread picks?
Yeah.
Yes.
So and also, I hear you.
One
last thing on Seattle is that they do have their rookie corner, Devon Witherspoon, who, like, the first game or 2, he kind of got toasted. He wasn't playing well.
Dude.
He looked really good against the Giants.
Dude.
Really good.
And so, like, I don't know if
that's huge.
He'll never have a game that good. He'll never have a game that good, but that is a dude. He's someone to watch for sure. Yep. I had heard the name. That was the first time I really like spotlighted him, I guess, in a sense. He's everywhere.
Well, one of the problems with him, and I feel bad, is because of Christian Gonzalez, because I do think Christian Gonzalez is the best corner in that draft class. Unfortunately, Witherspoon went, like, a lot higher. Gonzalez went to 17. Witherspoon went to the Seahawks. I forget where they were drafting, but he was a top 10 pick. And so because Gonzalez had that great start with New England before he got hurt, everyone's attention was like, oh, Christian Gonzalez, like, you know, what are the Seahawks thinking? Like, why did they make this pick? And it's like, some players take a little longer. Like, Christian Gonzalez week 1 was great. Devon Witherspoon the first 2 weeks kind of struggled, and now he's kind of finding his, you know, he's matching up with the speed of the game. And so, like, I think people are now starting to realize, oh wait, there's a reason this guy was the top corner drafted.
They had really like the good. 6th. They had the 6th. He was their first rounder. Yeah, and they had like the 6th or 6th, 5 through 8, I would say. So he was like easy. Yeah,
they
top
got
10,
their
maybe,
they got that
maybe
pick
top
in a trade.
5.
Was that one of the Jets picks they had? I think maybe from the Jamal Adams trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was the one that they.
I know they had, he was the top 10 pick.
Right, I think it might have even been top 5. But either way, like, I had known the name. That was the first time I really like watched, and I was like, the dude's a dude.
And playing against the Bengals, you need someone to at least disrupt Jamar Chase, and I'm not saying he will, but like he has the potential to, which I think is important. So
there's a reason why Bengals didn't make it up the list in terms of me actually taking it.
Yeah,
I don't hate your pick there, but all right. Let's see. Round number 3, you're starting us off here. How about that? I made it past round number 2 and did not forget whose turn it was. This is all things.
It only took 6 weeks.
This is all things Ev. This is all things Ev this week, Tasos. You're in trouble.
It only took you 6 weeks to finally get used to like what round we're in. But fade me still coming, so you might mess up there. So
That's fair, fair. And we have a billion NFL seasons to go through that I can improve upon, right? So all right, what do you want here before we spin it?
I want a total. I'm thinking total here. There's one total in particular that I really like.
Ooh, that's interesting. I got one total that I like too, and it's I won't even say it, but all right. Oh, you might get it. You might get it.
Oh, come on. Come on.
All right. It's going to land on player prop.
All right. All right. Not exactly what I was looking for.
I have a lock. I have a lock for a player prop, and I know you're not going to take it. I know you're not going to take it. And this thing is a lock.
Oh, that scares me a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Oh, all right. I'm going to go. It feels like a trap. It really does. But I have an addiction to betting these Thursday night football props. Mainly because we record on a Tuesday, so they're really.
Yeah, I will say that before you even go, like credit to, we've been pretty good at, even with the injuries that we've suffered, we've been pretty good on player props this year, which is crazy because we record when right now there's only 3 games of props even available in books right now. Yeah. So yes, we're, we can work to try and get more in there, but I will say definitely credit the Tasos because you've been on fire. Player props have been one of my better veins in this show, but yeah, we do record this a few days early, so sometimes it's tough.
This bet scares the hell out of me, and I feel like I have a trend where it's like I feel like I've made this similar bet like 10 times where it's like, well, his job's on the line, but it's worked. Like Justin Fields like Sam Howell, Justin Fields, we talked about it. Like his job, I told you I liked the Justin Fields pick last week. His job was on the line. Same situation here, and I feel like I'm again taking crazy pills, but I'm going. I just can't believe I'm even saying this. I'm going to Russell Wilson over 1.5 touchdown passes at the Kansas City Chiefs. You can get that at plus. I see it as plus 152 odds. Actually, sorry, 160. Sorry, 160 on DraftKings. Russell Wilson over 1.5 touchdown passes. I just, it's the same. I mean, I hate saying it because I think Russ is really cooked. I think he's done. I think the Broncos lose this game. I just think that this is it. Like, this is literally, if he loses this week and he plays bad, I think he's benched. Like, I do think this is like him and Sean Payton yelling at each other on the sidelines. Like, it's not good at all in Denver. Mm-hmm. I genuinely think this could be his last start. And so I think Russell Wilson, although I'm off the train of like, I think he's still a good quarterback. I think he's absolutely cooked at this point. I think he's just good enough.
I think he's been kind of sneaky fine. Like, the more and more I see Denver, the more and more I'm thinking it's not actually all his fault. It is a lot of his fault. But I don't think numbers by number, like, I don't think that he's been as bad as now he's getting the credit for. Like, I think the Russ Cook thing is making him look even worse. Like,
because of how he acts and his personality and the Broncos countryless ride and all that things. And, like, Marshawn Lynch went on Club Shay Shay and he kind of calls him out. And, Russell Wilson, he goes in, a press conference. He goes, "Oh, Marshawn's one of my best friends. I love him. I text him all the time." And then, Marshawn Lynch is like, "I don't even have his phone number." So it's like,
I saw the clip.
Yeah. So like that's the thing with Russ, where it's like I don't know. His personality is really just something, and it does put a bigger target on his back. I agree with you. I don't think he's as bad as people say, but I do think his best days are clearly behind him. But I can't imagine he's going to go quietly into the night. I don't think he's going to go. The Broncos offense, truthfully, isn't as bad as people say. It's not good. I think the Chiefs, I think they're going to come into this game kind of sleepwalking a little bit. Like, oh, we're playing the 1-4 Broncos. I don't think they're going to take the matchup as seriously. I think Russell Wilson 2 touchdown passes. I don't think that's a crazy ask for the odds it's at. 2 touchdown passes in today's NFL is not crazy. I know for Russell Wilson so far this year, it's a little crazy, but I don't think that's a crazy bet. Like 2 touchdown passes is very achievable.
It hasn't even been crazy. He's hit that in if not all, but I think it's at least multiple games a season. Like that isn't the craziest of things to ask for. I hate that I've said this a couple times for your picks, but that was also on my list. I think that there's going to be a lot of points in that Chiefs-Broncos game. I don't know where I come out in terms of spread or anything like that. Like, I still am going to make the Thursday night video and kind of decipher that game. But I think that Mahomes could throw for 3 touchdowns. Russell could throw for 2. And the receivers all eat. Like, I think this is going to be a game in which the secondaries are burned. So I can't say I hate it. I'd be a liar if I said it wasn't on my sheet. He's done this multiple times. The fact that you're getting plus 160 odds is a steal. Doesn't mean he hits it, no, but there is true value in that. I hate to give you the props because I need to get these wins, but I'm telling you, like, this was on my sheet, and there is a level of, like 2 touchdowns, not a lot for plus 160. That's a lot.
Well, it's crazy because I should have looked this up beforehand, but I just looked it up. He has hit that number in 4 out of the 5 games. The only game that he didn't was in the Dolphins game. He threw just 1 touchdown, but even like last week, he threw 2. He threw 3 against. He threw 3 against Chicago.
Proves that I was looking at it earlier, right? I was like, I swear, like based on trend and odds, it's like kind of like a crazy play there, and they do have the level of the type of offense that I should say that could not beat the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are way better, but they have the types of teams that beat the Chiefs are with multiple options in the wide receiver vein, right? They do have Sutton and Judy. And then
Jaleel McLaughlin's been playing really well, running back. He's been great.
What's the running back I'm thinking of? He can catch he can catch passes too. That's another type of running back that can hurt the Chiefs too, because they love to rush those edge rushers, and it's like if you can dump something off, it could work. But yeah, I don't like it. I mean, I don't hate it.
It is kind of crazy because you just talked about how like Russ, he really is not. The numbers are, his numbers are actually. If you just blind test, if you just looked at the numbers, you would think, oh, he's back. Like he's completing 67% of his passes. He's got 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's got 1,200 yards passing in 5 games. Like
listen to this: 5 weeks, right? 108 passer. Now these aren't crazy numbers. I'm just saying he hasn't stunk. 108 passer rating. 108 passer rating. 84 against Miami. That was his worst week. 134 passer rating, 104 passer rating. Like this guy he's done his job. Now that being said, like we both agreed on, he's bringing this upon himself. Like he was supposed to make Denver this mega house of a team, right?
He's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender right now.
He hasn't. We've how many? I mean, we're not going to name any names, but how many quarterbacks have we seen put up numbers and they stink overall? That's what he's doing right now. I just don't think it's necessarily him, which means all you're talking. You don't care if the Chiefs get blow them out, 70-14. If Russ passes for those 2 touchdowns, you cash that. So it's like that. I think Russ is doing his job statistically. This Broncos team stinks. He may stink team-wise, but he's putting up numbers, dude.
Well, and that's the 2 things I'll say, because to be on the negative side real quick before we move on to your pick. He's putting up the numbers, but there's a reason. Like they're always kind of playing behind, so like it's a lot of garbage time numbers. A lot of them.
That's fair, yeah.
And also, like yes, he's like 11 touchdowns, 2 picks, 67%. Like it all sounds great. It looks great when you present it that way. The problem is that when they need him, it's those key plays where that's when he falls on his face. Like the Jets game, he fumbles and they lose. And it's like that's why he's getting cooked so badly. It's because of the fact that like, yeah, he's putting up decent numbers, but like in those tight situations when you need him to become the Russell Wilson of old, he fumbles, he throws picks, he throws bad passes, incompletions. So that's why he's getting so, despite the fact that, his numbers look so good, in those key moments, he comes up short. And that's why the Broncos are losing, because they've been in a lot, besides the Dolphins game, they've been in every game. They lost to they lost to the Raiders by 1. They lost to the Commanders by 2. They lost to the Jets. I forget, what was the final score of that game? I forget.
I know it wasn't as close as we'd like, but they were in the game, you could say.
But they were in the game. They beat the Raiders by 3. Like besides the Dolphins game, they've been in every game. So like if Russ makes those plays, we're having a completely different conversation about Denver right now. So yeah, I think the over 1.5. I was leaning originally Mahomes touchdowns because obviously Denver's defense. But the Chiefs are kind of becoming like the Patriots, where it's like the Tom Brady Patriots, where like you really just you never know. Like, yeah, some weeks he'll throw for 5 touchdowns, and some weeks Isaiah Pacheco will rush for 3 and he'll only throw 1.
or any of their 3 running backs will do
Yeah.
something. Like, you know what I mean? That's a good comparison. Not like play style wise, obviously, but like sort of like.
But just
are
like
they,
how like
are
in,
any of them
fantasy football, you never never want Patriots players because every time you never know. Like you take you'd grab Danny Amendola and think, oh man, like Amendola had a huge game last week, and then the next week he gets 1 target by Brady. Because Brady threw, 8 times to
Chris Hogan
to Brandon
went
LaFell.
off or something.
You just always was all over the place.
Yep. All right. I do, like I said, I have a player prop that's a lock. I called it a player proc by accident. This is the least sexy, but also the sexiest for some reason. I'm betting on a kicker.
Oh no! Yeah. That's how bad we're at 1-4.
This is a lock.
This is rock bottom for
It's
you.
a lock. This is a lock, and you can't even try to tell me why it's not. Once I break it down for you, Nick Folk over 1.5 field goals made for plus 110 odds.
I have him in every fantasy team, so I can't really hate. Like he puts up 10+ points a week every week.
Dude, they are the 3rd worst red zone efficient offense, right, when it comes to scoring touchdowns. So field goal, right? They're playing the Ravens this week. Guess where they rank for red zone defensive efficiency?
Pretty high,
Numero uno.
Yeah.
It is if this isn't a lock, my H2H season is cursed. And the fact that I'm getting plus 110 odds, like honestly, this should be minus 120. This is a team that you've seen. This Titans team, Derrick Henry is my favorite player in the league behind Adam Thielen. And I've had him in every fantasy league I've been in like 8 straight years, right? I mean, I don't even know if he's been in the league that long. They still think that like they have done nothing. They've lost some offensive linemen. They do the same thing over and over again. It's like run, and they're in the red zone. 2 runs. If they get close to first down, run again. They have a very bad offensive scheme, especially in the red zone. They are a weird team, to say the least, because I do think that defense somehow is going to make things interesting towards the end of the year. Not saying that they're going to make a run or anything, but like Mike Vrabel, I trust him. But when I'm looking at Nick Folk here, Big D Nick, and you're like plus 110 odds against the most efficient red zone defense with one of the least efficient red zone offenses, I can't help but look at this pick and say, boom. So it is not a sexy pick. It isn't.
Yeah, this is rock bottom. We're betting kicker props.
What if that's my run? What if I become the foot guy?
You might have, but you have to be the kicker guy every week picking kickers.
I like the way you phrase it better, actually. That's tough. That was bad.
I know. Here's the only caveat, and it's stupid, and it may not matter, but it might, is that this game is in London. So there is the London factor. A little jet lag.
Couple field goals, mate.
Listen, big dick Nick, maybe a little jet lag, maybe a little too much. I've been in London. I went last winter for I watched a couple Premier League games. It's a pretty crazy
How many field goals
scene.
did you make?
I didn't make any. I didn't. So that's all I'm saying.
That's a bad look. That's a bad look. Damn.
So
I hate this pick already.
I don't know. I'm concerned a little bit for you on that scent, but like besides, and it's like I said, it's a stupid thing. There's really no rhyme or reason why them playing in London makes anything different.
I gotta let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What sport do they love the most there?
Oh, it's what they would call the real football.
So let Nick Folk show him how he kicks, baby.
Like I said, I can't really argue it. Like it's not a bad pick. I probably would take it too if you told me gun to my head pick a kicker prop, I would take Nick Folk, I guess. But it's just the fact that
that's fair.
The fact that it's in London just kind of because London gets crazy. They're so unpredictable, those London games. But I think it's a pretty fair bet. I don't want to jinx it.
You know what?
I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, you don't?
But it would be a heartbreak if he hit the 1 field goal and then he missed 2. Like, if he went 1 for 3?
Dude, you're calling missed field goals? I thought we were friends. He could only have 1 field. He could go 1 for 1 and
imagine a world where he hits the first one and you're in the first quarter, right? He hits 1 in the first quarter and you're like, oh man, like I feel great. He's already got 1, we're good. And he takes 1 right before halftime and he misses it. And you're like, all right, that's fine. We got a whole other half to go. and then third quarter he misses another one, and now you're sweating, and then they're losing, so they're not taking field goals now. They're just going for it. They're chucking, and now you don't get a chance for Nick to take that fourth field goal kick. I'm just saying that would be a really tough scenario to watch you go through. I wouldn't want to see you do that.
You know,
God forbid it happens.
I try and hear out your picks and rationalize it. You are giving me well, you picked this, but what if a sniper came into the building and just took that guy out? Like, hey, it's what it is. I mean, I thought we were playing fair ball here, but all
I'm saying is I would hate to see that happen to you. God forbid it happened. I would hate to see that scenario play out. That's all I'm saying.
Flies attack. Oh man,
they've quieted down a little bit. I haven't smacked my face in about 10 minutes, which is good.
Their hourly wage ran out 20 minutes ago, so this is BS. I thought we'd be done by now. Damn it. They're like, all right, job's over. We kind of like this guy. But all right, you ready to enter the fade me round here?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, if you don't know what the fade me round is, screen's popping up on your screen, or wheels popping on your screen in just a second here. What this is we're going to spin the wheel just like we did to start the show. It's going to land on one of our names. Whoever that name lands on gets to make any pick. It could be a player prop. It could be a spread, a total, a money line, a team total, anything. The other person has no say. They have to take the opposite side of it. Tasos and I have been pretty interesting on how we've played this. Like, no one's taken the hammer, like, minus 300, whatever. No. Like, we've been pretty, like, you've taken 2 underdogs.
Yeah,
I've taken 2 middle-of-the-road ones. I forgot the one we lost. It was me. The Seahawks in Detroit under for the under whatever it was the Seattle
team.
You
had the Seahawks team total under. Yeah.
But so through 5 weeks, whoever gets this round has hit this pick, which is, I mean, that's kind of like shout out to us.
Yeah,
just saying.
When the lights shine brightest, we've been hitting. So.
Can the lights shine for all of my picks though? Can we get that going here?
No, just fade me. And even fade me, you've
been shining in dim lights too. So, but all right, here we go. We're gonna spin it. 3, 2, 1.
I really want this.
Do you want it?
I want it. I want it so bad.
You're gonna get it. You got 2 in a row here.
Let's go. Yes. Yes, because this is the perfect thing. Right?
I think I wanted it too. I think I wanted it bad too.
This is perfect because I've been mentioning all show, a little foreshadowing by me earlier in the show. There's an over that I love. I love it. I've loved it the whole show. I've been waiting for the total to fall my way, and I finally get a total.
Mine would have been an under. I'll tell you off camera, unless you pick the over that I like the under. Then I'll tell you.
It's funny because this does connect to one of my picks from earlier. One of my 3 picks. This is the same game.
Ooh.
I am going. Let me just make sure my last second, do I want to go with this? I think I am going to go with it. I'm putting my balls on the table for this one game. Give me the Bears-Vikings over 44.5. 2 bad defenses against 2 offenses that have the potential to score. I think the Vikings win this game in a shootout.
I don't like the over, okay?
Well, you got the under, so congratulations.
No. That's what I mean. But I hate the under. I don't like the over, but I hate the under.
And that's what I love about Fade Me is the fact that I can, like, you know, because that's the thing I hate. The one thing I hate, that I don't know. I bet unders occasionally, but it's the one thing where it's like I'd rather just not bet at all than bet an under. Because I hate watching a football game and be like, don't score. Like, I love points. So, like, the fact that you're going to have to watch this game, which could be a just shit show of scoring, like just create like pick sixes and fumble sixes and, you know, blown coverage touchdowns. Like, it's not going to be great football. It's going to be ugly scoring, but scoring nonetheless. But every time Kirk Cousins slings a touchdown to Justin Jefferson. Oh, actually, Justin Jefferson's, you know what? Holy shit, I am stupid. I just realized Justin Jefferson is not playing.
Out. I didn't even think of that either.
On IR. Out for, oh, wow. So that does, on air. I am literally, I'm going to stick with it. You know what? There's no going back here. I'm sticking with the over. Give me the over. I still think without Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins will throw all over this defense. Not honest, as confident anymore, but.
I don't even know if, I mean, this is going to sound crazy. I don't even think it's going to matter that much because I don't think Justin Jefferson is the reason that this is an over or an under, if that makes sense. Like, it's going to be, this is like a 55 plus type game if it's an over. It's a 20 or less game if it's an under. That's not Justin Jefferson's doing. Maybe if you're in Minnesota, you got the money or spread, right?
Spread, yeah.
That could impact it. He did just get ruled. That did just happen today. So here's the thing that we stumble upon with. I didn't even think of that. I saw it earlier actually, but didn't even think of it. I think I said Minnesota's on my list too. But either way.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, it's not like they don't have weapons. Like, they have Jordan Addison. They have T.J. Hawkinson. Like, it's not like they don't have other pieces besides
Kirk Cousins. Love KJ. What's his name? KJ Osborne or Bourne?
Oh, KJ Osborne,
right?
Yeah. So, like, they have.
He freaking loves him. I don't know why.
Yeah, and the Bears' defense is not that good. Like, I'm not overly concerned. I think this is gonna be a big. Now I kind of got to look at Jordan Addison props because I think he could have a really big day. Yeah,
there we go.
I'm fine with. I'm still gonna stick with. I don't honestly. Does it make me a little less confident? Absolutely. I'm not as confident as I was before, but I'm still pretty confident. I still think the Vikings will still win by at least 3. It does make sense now why they were so. I kept thinking to myself, like, I know they're 1-4, but only 2.5 points to the Bears. No, Justin Jefferson. Yeah. It makes sense now why the line is as. It
doesn't change my opinion on it. Like even when I said I like, and I once you said it, I was like, oh, you're right, because I think we both knew that. Just kind of forgot for a sec. I said I don't like the over, right? I hate the under. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think this is either going to be a rout of a game, not necessarily one side, but like a rout offense versus defense, or it's going to be a sloppy game. Either way, if Justin Jefferson was in or not, I think it's going to be a like, what a bad game, or a can you believe going back and forth, like that type of game. Do you remember I think they played it was a red team. I want to say Cardinals. It was in the quarterback documentary if you watch it on Netflix, but they had a crazy game. It went to overtime and back, and like that type of it was a bad game.
You're talking about Vikings?
Vikings, yeah.
It was last year. Wasn't it the Buffalo game last year? Or was it the Colts game? Was it Buffalo was crazy, and then the Colts was when they were down like 30, and they came back and won.
Yeah, I guess whatever it was, I don't remember, but like that's the type of game I'm picturing.
I think it was the Bills Vikings last year. That game was crazy. It was back and forth touchdowns.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking, where it's just like it was like this is a miraculous game. Yeah, it was the one where Kirk Cousins fumbled. He's down at the 1 or something. I think that was Bills Vikings. But either way, that's where I think this happens here. Like it's just mayhem versus it could be a trudge in the mud. So Justin Jefferson news, even though it wasn't news, but like breaking news on the show. We should have played it off like that. We should have both gone like this. Breaking news.
Breaking news. He's out. Even though I definitely saw it at work earlier, I saw the fact that he was not playing. So.
It doesn't change my opinion on it, which I don't know if that helps your confidence or not. Because it
makes me a little
1-3.
Makes me a little less confident because I feel like obviously him not being there, the Vikings offense isn't as potent. But I still think they're still a really good offense even without him. So I'm not too worried.
All right, well there it is. This is that's going to be an interesting fade me. I love that we are like squaring up fade me's versus taking a weird approach, which it'll come like if I got fade me this round, I mean I told you I'd tell you what it wasn't going to be the let me take the huge favor to try and get a win. Like I was still going to stick to the hey, this is a normal line, let's see what we got. So but either way,
my thing with that strategy is I just don't really like. Number one, like if you lose, you automatically lose on the week. Like doesn't matter what happens your other 3 picks to loss.
The risk versus reward is not it.
No, like even if you win, you're getting a team at minus 300, and this is obviously we're playing a game of units here. Like you could go, you could win fade me and still get absolutely blown out because you're not making a lot on a minus 300 odds. And like I said, in those rare weeks where you have an upset, God forbid it's the week where like you pick a team minus 350 and the underdog's plus 400 or something like that. Now all of a sudden you literally just gifted them a win. The other 3 picks are now void basically. So
Cardinals Cowboys, right? That was probably the exact same situation.
Yep,
you're totally right. You're totally right.
And so I like these because I do enjoy the competition side of it. And like that Jets Broncos game, I was at Chili's with my girlfriend and her friends, and like they're like, "Why do you keep looking at the Jets Broncos game?" And I'm like, I got a little something on it. Like, and they're like, oh, money. I'm like, no, not really. It's more like,
More
you
than
know,
money.
a side bet kind of thing.
I love it.
But I was glued to it. I was like, oh god, like this is gonna be tight. Like this is close. But yeah, I love Fade Me. I love this. And like I said, I like taking the ones that like aren't, you know, there's some risk. I like taking risk with these picks, and it's paid off for me so far. So
It has. I mean, you did it week 1, you did it last week. It has worked. So I can't knock it. Sadly, I want to. I can't knock anything you've done this entire season. So who am I to say? Player props have been where we've kind of made some gravy, though. So if anyone is tailing our picks out there and whatnot, like we've actually been, I think that I'm in through 5 weeks. I think that I've actually only made profit in, I think, 3 of the weeks, still over the 5. I think you've made profit 4 out of the 5 weeks.
Something like that. Like I said, the last 2 weeks I'm 3-1 overall, but like the only week that I had a bad week was week 1. I think I went like 1-3, but I obviously hit our 2-2, but I hit the only week that was really bad was the week where we had the player props where like they were all injured.
I got it up in front of me. So I got it up in front of me now. Which that was week 3. That's the one that I won. You are profitable in 3. I'm profitable. We're both profitable in 3 of 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So like it's just a matter of when.
That's pretty good.
Well, pretty good for you. Think about that. You're 4-1. That's good on both of us, but stellar for you, which is awesome. But either way, guys, this is week 6. Nothing more to say here. We got a few new things on the channel here, obviously. Basketball's coming soon. I'm going to be doing those. Tasos crushed college football, just you know, all intensive purposes, performance on the channel-wise, views and everything like that. I think that was our either highest or second highest college football viewed show of the year. Which, either way, I think it might have been the highest. So shout out to you. You also have your new show, Play Action Takes, where you're giving picks. It's less of a betting show, right? But you're still kind of giving pick'ems and just talking about, you're kind of shooting shit with a couple of your best friends, which is great.
Yeah. So basically, the show is like, you know, it's 3 of my best buddies. We did a podcast years back. We kind of are rebooting it in a sense. We go game by game. We give a little analysis. We do a pick'em where, you know, it's like a pick'em league basically, where we make our picks and we're keeping records. But along the way, you know, we have a segment called Cash Money Bet, where like during the show, if we like a spread and over a money line, we throw it in. We do have three cash money bets per show. For each person. So there is a gambling component to it, and obviously pick'em, you know, there's money lines involved if you want to tail picks. So it's not like this where it's like a gambling show, but there is definitely gambling part of it.
Which is good. I mean, it was a good show. I think you guys missed your first episode, missed the third co-host. So I want to know who this Raiders fan is. I'm excited for that. So everyone tune in for that. I'm excited for that. Just
to quickly tease it, I know by the time this episode comes out, it'll already be out. My friend is just chaos in the form of a human being. He slept through the first half hour of the recording because he set his alarm. We told him a 6:30 recording date, so he sets his alarm for 7 o'clock. So, and he just joined right in and just immediately was just like going off the rails with the takes, like just craziness.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious. So I can't wait for you guys to watch. Make sure to tune into that show. It is, I cried laughing a couple times. It was hilarious.
I don't think we're getting any this week. Like I'm honest. I'm calling out our viewers. I don't think we get anybody. And if you do, I want you to comment your email right now, your best form of contact for your email, because we'll send you a free Fade Me shirt. How about that? I think that's a good deal, right? Yeah. If someone makes it this deep into the episode.
You make it to this long. You make it past the hour mark. You deserve it.
I don't think we'll get anybody. I don't think we will. So if you comment your email, I'll reach out to you guys via email. You'll have your choice of a t-shirt on the store, and it'll be good. But yeah, Tasos, I need this win. I'm going in this weekend very excited. You are sitting damn pretty. We got to figure out a punishment or a reward. I got an idea for a reward too. Maybe we should talk about it next episode, or we can announce it. But we're late in the episode here. Like, one easy one could be if you win, or when you win, the way things are going, or
Yep.
when I win, the way things are gonna go. One person picks a jersey in the league, the other person has to buy authentic NFL jersey. Could be any player, any team. That's a good one. We'll talk about it off camera. We'll announce it probably in the next couple of weeks what we got. But yeah, long overdue. I think we got to close the episode here. I think it was a good episode. Anything to say before we sign off?
Just, I really, for your sake, hope, and I God forbid this happens. I really don't want to see Nick Folk go 1 for 3 in London, in the fashion that I stated. I really don't want to see it. So just please, Nick Folk, if you do happen to watch this show, please don't go 1 for 3 on field goals. Make sure you hit that 2 field goal number.
If units were a thing on the show, I'd put 60 on them. This is a huge play. So we'll see.
Wow.
But all right, guys, thanks for tuning in again. If you saw this, comment your email. Tasos and I will both know who it is. And we're recognizing all the names of people that make it through. Like I know Tasos isn't you're not annoying, but I know my voice is annoying as all hell. People that make it through this far in the video, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, shout out to you type of thing. So
we got some great fans for sure in this community. For
sure. So comment your email if you're still watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode when I will be 2-4 and making the comeback of the century.
Probably not.